Waiting for your signal.
Should I share again?
Go. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to meeting number 51 times 9, that is 459 of Turning Point Toastmasters. Please, let's start with some energy. Let's have a round of applause. My name is Rupinder, and I am your Sergeant at Arms for today. For proceeding, I would like to confirm with the presiding officer if I'm audible and sufficiently visible. Beautiful. So, oh, sorry, lost my script. I will start by reciting the club mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Please also be mindful of the 4 values of Toastmasters International, which is integrity, respect, service, and excellence. By the way, I'm reading from a script, and this script was created by none other than our presiding officer, Distinguished Toastmaster Anant Katyayani, when he was the Sergeant at Arms from July to December 2020. Let's have a round of applause for him. You are now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and it may not be possible to pause the recording. The following are the meeting rules. Let's start with the audience. Audience, please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meeting will result in removal from the meeting room without any warning. You will also be reported to Zoom so that you will not be able to attend any Zoom meeting, at least not with the current email address. Please make sure that your noise-making devices are either switched off or on silent mode. I will give you 5 seconds, and in that time, I will also put my device on silent mode. Okay. Why are you not cooperating? Got it. Done. At Turning Point Toastmasters, we do not say, do not speak around religion, sex, and politics. We say that you can speak around these subjects, but speak responsibly. Do not offend anyone. As far as possible, keep your videos on, just like I have, audio off, like I have not, and applause flowing throughout. In very simple terms, be the kind of audience you want to have for yourself. You want an audience that is participative, that is clapping, that is supportive, then be that audience for us. Role players, Toastmaster of the day, Table Topics Master, and General Evaluator. Please ensure a smart audio video check before you hand over to respective role players. Role players, please rename yourself as role player hyphen your name hyphen your club name. You may omit the club name if you are a member of Turning Point Toastmasters. Please acquaint yourself with the role of the timer. The timer will use screen sharing to indicate timing using one of the 3 cards. Green means that you've reached the minimum qualifying time. Yellow indicates it's a good time to start concluding. Red specifies that you have 30 seconds or more, or you will be disqualified. Individual session timings will be explained very shortly. Zoom behaviors. We encourage you to use the Zoom emoticons generously to encourage role players. Can I have a show of Zoom emoticons now, please? Just so that I know that you guys know how to use Zoom emoticons. Exactly. Super. So remember, if you can't clap, show emoticons. I don't know why Anant has an open mouth gesture. We'll probably get to know about it in the presidential address. We sincerely request you not to send chat messages to everyone or the speaker on stage. In fact, refrain from chatting altogether. Focus on the speaker. Reiterating, please stay on mute until specifically requested to unmute. I would now like to introduce the presiding officer. Before I do that, please remember the rule that we all have to follow. Be the kind of audience you want to be for someone else. Having said that, I'm now going to hand it over to our presiding officer, and I do see Priyanka is here. I should have given the sergeant at arms to her. She would have done it much better. But our presiding officer today is distinguished Toastmaster Anant Katyani. Remember all that long lecture that I gave? This was authored by him. He has probably served every position up to the division director, and then he went on and did some more positions. Right now, I don't know what position he is, but he's definitely some position in the district. That is because he did not contest in the Turning Point Toastmasters contest, which in a way worked out for me. So he is such a sacrificing person. Sometimes I start crying. Not really. He makes me cry because of his antics. So let's see what he's up to today as I ask him to unmute. Anant Katyani, please unmute yourself and spotlight yourself since you're the tech master.
Hi, Rupinder. Did I make you cry?
No, but you did make me listen. So you're audible, you're visible, you're good to go. Take it away.
Thank you so much. And once again, I get to be the presiding officer of a Turning Point Toastmasters meeting. And it is my privilege, it is my blessings that I get to welcome all such illustrated individuals over here. And what a surprise! I see most of the faces visible. So something must be working out really well at Turning Point. And one of the biggest credit goes to these two individuals, Rupinder Singh and Priyanka Mishra, for consistently standing by me in my EC team and putting this show together week after week after week, despite the ups and downs. The kind of energy that you see at sharp 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, that doesn't dip for a single moment till the next 2 hours. And that has been the hallmark of these meetings. So, on that note, welcome all of you. And I would invite a couple of you who are joining us for the very first time to introduce yourself briefly. Your name, are you a Toastmaster? If yes, then which club? Or whether a former Toastmaster, which city are you joining us from? This being an online amalgamation of different cities, different geographies, different countries, nationalities at times. So please explain that. And if you are a guest, what brings you to Toastmasters? All right, let's start with Jaspreet Sahani.
Thank you, Anant, and thank you, everyone. So my name is Jaspreet Singh, and I'm joining this meeting from Gurgaon, and I'm working with Fidelity International. So there are originally there were three clubs, but now there are only two running clubs, Club A and Club B, and I'm the presiding officer president for the Club B. And another thing I just wanted to highlight that I am on right now notice period. I'm just looking out if I can start attending some community clubs so that at least if I don't get an opportunity from my next employer, at least I have something to fall back on.
Thank you,
Though
Jaspreet.
my
Celebrate that
my
spirit, by
renewals,
the way.
so renewals for the next term is already sorted. I'm looking after if I'm looking after for the next term, like how I can continue my Toastmaster journey.
That can be fine-tuned. Don't worry about it. But I just love the spirit that while you are about to join another club or another company, your focus somehow, you have the bandwidth to focus somehow on how to continue this journey with your Toastmasters. Amazing. Thank you so much. Let's have a round of applause for Jaspreet, not for introduction, but for that spirit. All right. Because most of the faces are visible before I invite my next guest today or the first timer, how about we take a quick selfie? So Rupinder, drop whatever you are doing. Look sharp. We are going for a quick meeting selfie. And for that, we need to start reacting. Do whatever you want in the next 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I'm going. Once again, 3, 2, 1. And clicked. Taken. Thank you. Let me invite Nida Hussain. I got to speak to her a couple of weeks ago, and finally she is here. So, Nida, why don't you share a little bit about yourself on the same
Hi
lines?
there, a very blissful evening, everybody. This is Nida Fatima Hussain. I'm 22 years old, communication and spoken in English enthusiast, coming all the way from a very beautiful state, Uttarakhand. I got to know about Toastmaster from one of the member, and he said that if you're looking forward to improve your communication skill, go for Toastmaster because it got so many amazing people, different caste, culture, creed, upbringing, and you got so much more. So I thought I'm in the phase of my early 20s. Why don't I give it a shot and learn something more? So here I am today.
And one thing I can promise you, Nida, if at all you find this place worthwhile, And this club, worth your time, this journey at such an early age of around 20 something is going to take you places, because trust me, when I see people like Rupinder, a couple of others who got the exposure at much later stage in their career, they don't feel happy, they feel rather sad. What if we could have started it much earlier? So age is on your side, and today being the first chapter, all the very best. Do stay till the very end. I
Thank you so
also
much, sir.
see, thank you. I also see Bhavesh Methwani. Bhavesh, most of the audience don't know you, so why don't you introduce once again?
Yeah, thank you so much, Alan, for having me here. And very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is, of course, Bhavesh Mithwani, and I'm a part of Eloquent Toastmasters Club, which is actually based out of Gurgaon. I've been a Toastmaster now for, I think, 3.5 to 4 years. And I just met, I think, Anant last Saturday for a division level contest as well. And I
At
was
Jaipur.
with us. Sorry?
At Jaipur.
Yeah, Jaipur. I was actually in Jaipur for a day to I think for some work, but yeah, I'm so happy to be here. It is gonna be my actually first meeting, so I'm looking forward to how meetings in this clubs are run. If I can actually just, I think, be a speaker one day and just present my speech, it will be a fantastic opportunity as well. By profession, I'm a human resource professional, and I think, like Jaspreet mentioned, I'm also on my notice period, and tomorrow is my last working day with my current organization, and Monday is when I'll be joining my new organization. So I think I just had this opportunity on a Thursday evening to actually join with you guys. So I'm really happy to be here, and thank you so much. And hello, Rupinder sir. Nice seeing you. Hi, Priyanka. I think I know some of the folks. I've known them. Weber, I've known.
Happy Independence Day in advance then. Right.
I did not
But
get
one
the
thing
context.
I need to warn you about one thing though, and everyone else. If there is one thing that Rupinder hates more than my jokes, that is being called sir. Beware of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should have known. But thank you so much.
Just kidding.
Very good evening and
Thank
happy
you
to
so
be
much
here.
for that detailed intro, Bhavesh. Do stay till the very end. And about the speech slots, yes, we will add you to our meeting prep WhatsApp group. And there, if you formally share your speech projects, etc., and if we have the bandwidth, we can look it out. All right.
Thanks, Anand.
Let's hear from Kavita. Kavita, you are going to be evaluator anyway, but if you can come on the camera, why don't you share which club or city are you joining us from? If you can hear us, Kavita. While Kavita sorts out her audio issue, Sajal, quick intro, not long. Once again.
You actually told me that I wouldn't have to give my intro, so I was very relieved.
There are a couple of people who don't know perhaps you, so why not?
Hi everyone, I'm Sajal, and I have been a Toastmaster on and off from a couple of years, and it has been a really good journey since then. And I always love being in this meeting.
Thank you, Sajal. And it is your second meeting in a row, so look forward to exceed your expectations today once again. I see one person who was there before I started the meeting in the waiting room. So in a way, the first person to join this meeting today, let me invite Shailesh Nath Sharma to introduce him.
Hello, everyone. This is my first meeting that I've been attending here. I am right now part of the NAB Toastmasters Club based out of Gurgaon. And I've just completed my level 1 Toastmasters and logged into the system. So, yeah, looking forward to much of these meetings and getting to learn more about them. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Shailesh. Here is to many more of such levels. In fact, I was just inquiring with my mentee, Vivek, yesterday while we were discussing about which path to choose and all. And he was looking at all these levels. Remember, boys and girls, these levels, they don't mean anything. What matters more is the journey. And today let it be one of the most glorious pit stops of your journey. Let me also invite one person who is, okay, speaker I'm not inviting because speaker is going to be properly introduced anyway. So one person I'm going to invite who is making her comeback after a long time, Renu Kumari. Quick intro about yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Renu Kumari. I'm joining this meeting from Hisar, Haryana, and I hold master's degree in English literature, and I'm seated qualified. Um, and I uh, I gained some professional experience in as a trainee in TCS. Uh, the credit goes to Anant. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Renu. I do recall you being one of the brightest and most inquisitive, most curious students. Keep that level of curiosity running throughout the meeting and keep coming back.
and I was also a member of Turning Point Toastmaster a few years ago.
Yep.
And served as sergeant at arms. I remember that.
Thank you, Renu, and do look forward to see you once again speak in table topics. Now, a couple of people who are joining us for back-to-back meetings, I will just acknowledge them at this moment. Toastmaster Anu, she has been a speaker as well in one of the past meetings at our club. Toastmaster Kanav, who has been a past area director, as well as a pillar of the community in Delhi. And Priya Kaur, who has been a very frequent guest speaker at our club. A couple of people who are joining us. Okay, once again, Kamal and Sarah, you have taken some Best Speaker Awards, Best Table Topic Speakers Awards anyway. So welcome back. And Vaibhav, just a quick intro about you, since you are joining us, I guess, for the first time.
Yes, thank you so much, Anand. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vaibhav, and I'm joining you all from New Delhi. By profession, I'm a banker and I'm working at National Australia Bank. So the club chartered about 2 years ago, and I've had the opportunity to serve as a president, and currently I'm serving as the VP membership of the club. What brings me to Toastmasters is very simple: a desire to perform, lead, and grow. So thank you so much for inviting me to this meeting.
Thank you, Vaibhav. And just like your club's name, nab this opportunity. I'm sure that must be a mantra at your club anyway.
Yes.
Friends, one big announcement that I want to make, and everything else is secondary, and that is a couple of weekends back, one of our own won the division level international speech contest and table topic contest, and is going to represent in both the categories our club at the district 41 level at Gurugram in the event called Oration 2026 between 22 to 24 of May. One and only Rupinder Singh. Anshuman beat me to it, saying the one and only phrase. Anshuman, I did not copy. It was actually on my lips and you just wrote it first. But thank you. That's what Anshuman does. He prompts. He works at Google. He prompts. Folks, I don't have any motivational messages for you. I have taken all the bandwidth that I had today as presiding officer to invite all of you and introduce yourself. But here is one thing that I want to share as a key message, and that is, if you have noticed a pattern in some of our themes that we have chosen as meeting themes. Thanks, Rupinder. So some of these themes that we have chosen, they have not been pre-planned. There is just a willingness that comes forward that this meeting's content becomes the inspiration for the next or the next to next meeting's theme. And same is applicable to spoken opportunities like prepared speeches. A table topic speech, if you hear one day, just by the virtue of attending a Toastmaster meeting, even if online, it can spawn that world championship winning speech idea somewhere in the back of your mind. So when you attend the meeting today, let us not just focus on speaking and impressing. Rather, let us focus on listening, absorbing, evolving, and growing together as a community. And on that note, let me invite the star of this evening, the person who is going to share about a tool that has truly built communities together in a very cost efficient manner. That's Google Sheets. And a person who loves Google Sheets, and we love him, none other than Toastmaster of this evening, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. Once again, over to you, Rupinder.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, thank you, Anant, for that introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters, could be, would be, should be Toastmasters. Last week, Anant delivered a memorable session titled Why I Hate Excel. It's one of the few things that I agree with with Anant. Agree on with Anant. I would say it was passionate, it was persuasive, and it was probably driven by frustration. Okay. So today I thought, why not present the alternative? So in the interest of fairness and balance and spreadsheet diplomacy, as I call it, I present the rebuttal. Why I love Google Sheets. Now, there are many reasons that I love Google Sheets. Today, I'm going to outline just 3 and I'll reveal them throughout today's meeting. But before that, there is another important 3. A typical Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is prepared speeches where brave speakers share ideas, stories, lessons, and sometimes they discover that they have exactly 3 seconds left. Then there is table topics where brave speakers, courageous speakers, they discover that they are speaking right now in the moment. And finally, we have some brave evaluators helping speakers grow with encouragement, insight, and selective honesty. To guide us smoothly through all these 3 sections, every meeting needs a structure, organization, and someone who knows what they're doing and what's happening. That person has to be our general evaluator. And our general evaluator today signed up for the role less than 53 minutes ago. She is a passionate Toastmaster. She is a wonderful speaker. I've heard her speak, and you should listen to one of her speeches. Today, though, she is going to enthrall us with her general evaluator performance. I would request the Tech Master to please unmute Toastmaster Sajal Jain. Sajal, welcome. Let's very quickly do an audio video check.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupinder. Am I audible and visible?
You're audible, you're visible, you're incredible. Go ahead.
Thank you. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. General evaluation is a very crucial section in any Toastmasters meeting, as here we learn not just where we went wrong, but also how we can improve upon it. Today, we have a very strong army of role players who will be helping us and guiding us in keeping a track of our missteps in our communications skills and our speeches. So without further ado, I would like to call upon our timer for today's meeting to introduce him in the meeting, Toastmaster Vivek. Toastmaster Vivek.
Hello, Sajal.
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Hello, everyone. I'm the timer of the day. I'm responsible to keep track of the time taken by various speakers and role players. Typically, a prepared speech is timed for 5 to 7 minutes. I will show the green card at 5 minutes, and the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. I request speech evaluator to appraise me if the speech time is different from 5 to 7 minutes. For table topic, each speaker is required to speak for 1 or 2 minutes. I will show the green card at 1 minute and yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds. and the red card at 2 minutes. Table topic speakers have a grace period of 30 seconds on the pulse side. Speech evaluators are allotted 2-3 minutes for evaluations. The green card will be shown at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. Please note that as timer, I will keep the card up until the speaker stops speaking, unless otherwise instructed by the Toastmaster of the day or general evaluator. I will provide no signal, verbal or non-verbal, to indicate that your time is up. Any speaker who finishes before or after the grace period will not be considered. I will submit my report in the evaluation section. Thank you. It's over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vivek. Next, I would like to invite our counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Kanav.
Hi, Toastmaster Sajal. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Have you ever conducted a meeting and you have been asked to share a Google link and you tried to find it, you can't find it, and you are just, what should I do now? Man, it goes mess up. Something like this happens in a speaking journey. When you try to speak and you don't know what to speak, most of the time you speak by using filler words. Filler words are those words which comes in your speech like like, so, or any repetitive words, anything that makes you go out of the flow of the speech. Those kind of Google Forms which has made you restrict from the audience to go back to your message is what I'll be keeping note of today. So I'll be coming back with my report and giving you the note of all the filler words that you have used, and back to our general evaluate of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kanav. I would like to invite our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Kamal. Toastmaster Kamal, you are not audible.
Kamal, audio issues. Might want to disconnect any devices that you may be speaking on.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Now, yes.
Okay. All right. So, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, very good evening. I welcome you all to this meeting of the Turning Point Toastmasters. As the role of grammarian today, I shall note down the good usage and not so good usage of language, as well as grammatical errors that are made by the speakers as well as the role players. As a grammarian, it is also my duty and responsibility to introduce the word of the day and phrase of the day. The word of the day is cogent. So, cogent means strongly and clearly expressed, and a usage is that it is a cogent argument and will finally have an impact upon those on top. The purpose of Toastmasters is that all of us become better communicators, and I sincerely wish and pray that all of us deliver a cogent speech today. The phrase of the day today is ahead of the curve. Ahead of the curve means to be more advanced or innovative as compared to your competition. So, a usage is that he was ahead of the curve when he started using AI tools at work years ago. And if I have to give you an example of a company which is ahead of the curve, it's Apple, which has been a trendsetter by bringing innovative products into the market. With this, I would like everyone to acknowledge the usage of the word of the day and phrase of the day with a thumbs up, and I will submit my report to the in the evaluation session. I will be exiting the meeting by 8, and I will be noting down my comments and sharing it with Anuradha, who will be presenting the findings when called upon during the evaluation session. Thank you so much, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kamal, for that cogent introduction. I would now like to hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder, and we will be back with our evaluation report at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Let's get ahead of the curve in our meeting. So, Excuse the noises. So, coming back to the first reason why I love Google Sheets. One word, collaboration. For example, I can work on a Google Sheet. Toastmaster Sajal can work on the same Google Sheet at the same time. And you know what? It will not crash the system. No need to message. I'm using the file. Do not touch it. Do not touch column C. Who changed the formulas? Real-time collaboration. It is beautiful. Speaking of collaboration, our prepared speakers have worked hard to prepare speeches for us today. They may not be editing simultaneously, but they are definitely presenting sequentially. Before I call our first prepared speaker, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Kavita. Toastmaster Kavita, if you could read out Anand's speech objectives and also the time he's going to take for his speech.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Toastmaster Kavita and I'll be evaluating the first speaker today. The speaker is Toastmaster Anand. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice the skills needed to motivate team members through the completion of a project. Also, the purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience motivating members through the completion of the project. And the speaker is attempting elective project of the pathway motivational strategies. The project is all about motivate others. I wish the speaker all the very best. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Oh, right. Thank you. Let us spotlight speaker number one, Toastmaster Anand.
Hi, Rupinder.
Toastmaster Anand, let's very quickly do an audio video check.
Hello, am I clearly audible? And is there any background noise behind me?
You're clearly audible. I can't hear any background noise as such.
Right.
Toastmaster Anand, Project Safe Haven. Project Safe Haven. Toastmaster Anand.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever faced a situation where you were stranded in an unfamiliar territory, a place where you didn't know anyone, and you completely lacked the resources for your own welfare? For example, stranded at a place, maybe around a jungle, and you were short on water or fuel or maybe any other nutritional supplies, and you couldn't see a single place or source or person where you could seek help or shelter or a safe haven. Has it ever happened with you in your course of life so far? If yes, raise a hand. It can be physically, it can be emotionally, it can be mentally. But we all have faced a situation where we look for a safe haven beyond our current situation. Now, I'm not going on the mental health or any philosophical or spiritual lines today. It's a very concrete thing I'm going to talk about. How many of you believe that it's not just the humans, but also the birds and the bees, the animals and the trees, they all have feelings too? Do they? Do they? And if we can't perceive it very clearly, they do. And this is the level of empathy by some terrible experiences that I could generate over the last couple of months. And this is where a project Safe Haven I would like to unveil to all of you. You see, I come from Rajasthan. May not be from the desert part, but summers are no less scorching over here. I come from Alwar, a place between Alwar and Jaipur, quite close to NCR. But you know the kind of weather it's going on outside. Those who are in Gurugram or NCR, they probably can testify. how bad it is out there in the afternoons or during the full peak sun hours. While the humans, they look for shelters around and dare not come out of the ACs, what happens to the birds? Small birds, those sparrows that you see in the morning, those parrots that if you are fortunate that if you can see them in the urban areas these days, and dare not talk about the unusual looking birds that we can only see during the Ranthambore safari or the Sariska tour. In the urban setting especially, or closer to population areas, birds are completely shunning these places and trying to make an abode near the watering holes. You know why? Simply because it's not the thirst. It is the relief from the boiling temperature outside that they seek. It's not just about the water alone. It's about the shade. It's about the uh, moisture that is completely drained out in the air outside. And also a safe place where if they drop down from the skies or the branches, a cat or a dog or a wild animal doesn't attack on them while they are vulnerable. We all have seen those small bird water feeders around in the park. Have we? You can raise a hand. And you can raise both hands if you have one at home. Nobody? Kanav, half a hand and then dropped. Fair enough. That's a very telling situation these days, right? In this room full of people, nobody could raise both hands to say that they have a bird water hole or a bird watering station. We call it in Hindi parinda. Don't have it at home. The situation around my village is no different. Even if there are some good Samaritans who put some large plastic bowls wired up, hanged on the branches, nobody puts water inside that. Who has time? I discussed this with some school children. School kids these days, they are going to school just because they have to. They have no interest in studies. And this is the golden days. Parents should understand over here that this is the time where neither parents nor students nor teachers are much worried about the academics. So this is the ideal time. I shared an idea with some students, and guess what? Because I had this empathy and because I shared this idea with them, allow me to share my screen and show you some of the activities that we did. I actually ordered some 30 rupees worth of these parindas. If you can see, schoolgirls helped me paint it, color it. Can you see? They helped me do all of that, make it as artistic as possible, compile it completely, and help me hang it around 100 places in my village area. And it's not just the act of barely putting some bird water feeders in the neighborhood. It's the act of binding the humans as a caretaker around it. We have actively involved a large number of people through social media, through our local WhatsApp groups, and asked, we have created 100 parindas. Would you want one at your home if you have a tree, if you have a shady area? And would you take the responsibility of filling water inside it every day? We got more than 100 responses. Some temples, some large government offices, some schools, as well as police station, etc., public places. But yes, many of them being private residences. My team is actually morning and evenings. This evening I am attending Turning Point, but otherwise I'm going this entire week and hanging these bird water feeders around my community. All it took was just one discussion with a group of over enthusiastic and kind of carefree students these days. And they took the onus. We provided the materials and supplies, and they helped me create this magic. Imagine if one of us in this room, each one of us, can make a temporary bird water feeder like that and hang it around your first floor balcony or your ground floor where you can keep it in a shady area. Imagine the kind of relief it would provide to those voiceless creatures who need shade, who need protection, safety, and who need moisture in the scorching heat of northern India in these next 2-3 months. And if you can do that, ladies and gentlemen, you have joined my Project Safe Heaven. Welcome on board. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Anand. Let's have a round of applause for him. Timer, I want you to time me for 1 minute and respond with either a thumbs up or a green card saying that 1 minute is over. We will use this 1 minute to write feedback for Anand. As I often say, praise in public and provide constructive feedback in private. So go ahead. Your time starts now.
Kavita has a query.
Yeah, can I proceed with the evaluation or do I need to wait for the general evaluation
General
section?
evaluator. General
General
evaluator.
evaluation session.
Vivek, let me know when 1 minute is over.
it. 15 seconds left. One minute is over now, Upender.
Thank you very much, Vivek. Our next speaker is Mohammad Kutubuddin. Before I call him on stage, I would like to ask his advisor. Why I'm saying advisors. I would like to ask his evaluator, Toastmaster Vaibhav, to read out his speech objectives. Vaibhav,
Thank
if
you
you
so
could-
much, Toastmaster Rupinder. Am I audible, everyone? Perfect. So, they say that a person without a vision is just like a ship without a compass, directionless. Our next speaker, Kutub, has chosen the pathway visionary communication, and the purpose of this pathway is very simple. It's to develop a vision for the speaker. This is his first project, and the speech title will be A Messenger. I will be evaluating the speaker on the basis of clarity, vocal variety, gestures, and most importantly, how powerfully he brings his vision to life. Let us welcome Kutub to the stage with a warm applause.
Toastmaster Kutub, let's do a very quick audio video check. Toastmaster Kutub.
Yeah, just a second, Rupinder. The video is on, and I think the audio should be on as well now. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible. You're
Yeah.
visible.
So,
As Tech Master, may I remind the speaker that since this is going to be live streamed and you can watch your recording later on, I can see some part of your forehead is being cut. Is this the frame that you want to speak with? This is much more within the frame.
great.
But we need to do an audio check from that distance.
I
Let's do
think
an
I
audio.
should be audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
All right.
I can just push the camera just a bit behind. Yeah. I think this should
Much
work.
better.
Yeah, so am I waiting for a T-mod introduction or am I
Yes,
waiting
I'll
for-
be
that's
introducing
on the way.
Sure.
Okay. Toastmaster Kutub, a messenger. Toastmaster Kutub, take it away.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Dear Toastmasters and dear guests, raise your hands if you have ever tried to explain something to someone and they didn't just understand. I got a quick reaction there. Great. Now, this is my favorite part. Raise your hands if you thought the problem was not you but them. We've all been there, right? Whether trying to teach a friend just before an exam and he wouldn't get it, or teaching our parents something about technology, or perhaps convincing your co-workers about an idea that might just change everything. Yeah, I think we've all been there. I for sure have been there. More than once. But one day, once was more than enough. It was a simple moment, a normal day. I was in college and I was explaining a concept for an exam to a friend of mine. Pretty much a normal conversation. And yet, it stayed with me. I kept trying to explain this simple idea and it just wouldn't land. Have you ever had that problem? He looked at me, my friend, he looked at me and said, I just don't understand it, Kutub. Now that shouldn't have been a problem because I did understand. I had the answer. I had the logic. I had the explanation. It was all cogent in my head. So I tried again. I explained it differently. I used examples and simplified. And again, he looked at me and said, I still don't get it. And I'm embarrassed to say, at that point, I just snapped. I got angry at him. I got frustrated. What are you doing? Why are you here if you can't even understand something so simple?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
He recoiled in pain. He wanted me to guide him, and I had hurt him. In that moment, something strange happened. For the first time, I realized knowing something is not the same as making someone understand it. I sat there with clarity in my mind and confusion in his. And for the first time in my life, I felt powerless. Because what he needed, what my friend needed, was not information. He needed something else, something I didn't have. That moment ended, that conversation moved on, but I didn't. You see, we live in a world today overflowing with information, books, videos, courses, speakers. Everywhere you look, someone is talking, especially if you're a Toastmaster. And yet, people are stuck, still confused, still lost. Why? Because information is everywhere, but impact is rare. That day, that conversation, that confusion led me to a realization. The world does not need more people who can speak. The world needs more people who can reach. People who can take an idea and make it land. People who can take confusion and turn into clarity. People who don't just deliver words but deliver understanding. That's when a shift happened inside me. I stopped asking, how can I speak better? And I started asking, how can I serve better? Because speaking well impresses people, but reaching people changes them. And that's when I found the word messenger. Not a speaker, not a performer, a messenger. A messenger is not someone who just talks, a messenger is someone who carries something important and makes sure it reaches. That means not just clarity of thought, but clarity of delivery. Not just confidence, but connection. Not just words, but transformation. A messenger is one who takes you and keeps you ahead of the curve. I see a future where I stand in front of people, not to impress them, but to move them. I see conversations that don't end in applause, but end in action. I see ideas not just heard but lived, because one message can change a decision, one message can change a direction, and sometimes one message can change a life. That day when I couldn't help one person understand something simple, my friend, I felt like a failure. But today I see it differently. That moment didn't expose my weakness, it revealed my purpose. But because maybe the problem was never a lack of knowledge, maybe it was the absence of a messenger. And so I made a decision not just to speak, not just to perform, but to become a messenger who awakens minds, moves hearts, and inspires action. Mr. Toastmaster.
Let's have a huge round of applause for our speaker, Toastmaster Kutub. Thank you very much, Kutub, for being a part of this meeting. Wonderful speech. Let's take a minute. Timer, please let me know once 1 minute is over. Like I said before, praise in public, provide feedback in private. Go ahead.
Hello, Rupender. It's 1 minute is over.
Thank you. Reason number 2, why I love Google Sheets. Version history. You see, Google Sheets remembers everything. If I make a mistake, if I delete a formula, ruin formatting, or experience what experts call creative chaos, I can simply go back in time and make changes. No panic, no mysterious files like something underscore final dot xlsx or something underscore final underscore v2 xlsx or something underscore final underscore v2 underscore real, something underscore final underscore v2 underscore this time final. I'm pretty sure all of you have gone through those ridiculous sounding file names. And you know what is the best part? That final is never final. Nothing like that in Google Sheets. Speaking of the unexpected, nothing is more unexpected than being suddenly asked to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. You know what that means? It means that it is now time for table topics. Our table topics master today is, I would start saying he's a veteran Toastmaster. Like our presiding officer and our first speaker, he also happens to be my mentee, which is often interpreted as I'm his tormentor. So, taking on this opportunity to torment him once again, let's put our hands together for soon to be DTM, the TTM, or the Table Topics Master, Anshuman Mishra. Anshuman, let's very quickly do an audio video check.
Am I audible and visible, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder?
Yes, you're audible, that's for sure. You're visible, you're weapons free, and you're clear to engage.
And I thought the first reason you'll mention why you love Google Sheet is because one of your favorite mentees works in the beloved company Google. But I was sad to hear that's not the number one reason. Maybe it'll come down the line. Uh, Before we start practicing our impromptu speaking, I got the first hand view of when Google Sheet was launched. And as an employee, we got the opportunity to give feedback on how to improve Google Sheets. And then we were all like, oh my God, why are we moving away from Microsoft Excel? It's such a lovely product. And why is our company forcing to try us a new product? And now, down the line, we realize the vision of the company, as distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder mentioned, from collaboration to the ease, effectiveness, efficiency. And my latest formula, I don't know if you all have already tried it out, is equal to AI. How many of us have tried out that formula is equal to AI? None of us. Renu, you have. Toastmaster Renu. So is equal to AI helps you utilize AI within Google Sheets. So literally, you do not require any formula. You can put an equal to AI. Do say VLOOKUP for column A, column B. It'll do VLOOKUP. That's not the case, but that's one challenge for you. Besides other challenges that are coming up, do try the equal to AI formula in Google Sheet, and you'll be mind blown, surprised. Take YouTube tutorials if possible. So much for promoting Google. Now coming to the table topic challenge that's coming up. That's 1 to 2 minutes of impromptu speaking. And to do that, I like to first invite prepared, like not a prepared, but a tenured Toastmaster who has spent enough time to share how a table topic actually works. So, do we have a tenured Toastmaster within our?
I can recommend a couple of people. We have Vaibhav, we have Jaspreet, Sarah.
Sure.
Those who haven't got a chance
All
to
right. So
speak
we
as a
have
role for
Toastmaster Kamal's hand raised. So we'll
what I would suggest, being the tech master, let's prefer first the non-role player or non-prepared speakers.
Sure, distinguished Osman Anand, I'll go by your suggestion. Whom do you recommend?
So as I said, we have Vaibhav, Jaspreet.
We can go with Sarah.
Yeah.
Let's go with Sarah.
Sure. All right. Osman, Sarah, are you ready? And then just checking that you're familiar with Google Excel. Oh, sorry, Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, right?
Just a minute, somebody came at the door. I have to attend it.
All right.
Proceed
Maybe
if
we'll
someone
go with.
ought to.
So I'll. No worries. We'll give you a topic later. So I'll go by serial order, not wasting too much time. Toastmaster Jaspreet, are you ready for with the table for your table topic? All right.
Yes, I'm ready.
So Toastmaster Jaspreet, if you could apply conditional formatting to people's moods, what colors would you choose for approachable, hungry, leave me alone? If you could apply conditional formatting to people's moods, what colors would you choose for approachable, hungry, leave me alone? Toastmaster Jaspreet.
Thank you, Anshuman, for giving me this wonderful topic. And I know that you're a tech savvy, and I also believe that the world is moving towards that same direction. I'm a very profound user of Google Sheets, and I would love to apply these sort of conditional formatting uh, to figure out like how we can decide the sheet and decide the color based on the mood of the person with whom I'm interacting. And let's say if I have to apply some random color for hungry people, I would love, because as we know that the hunger is one of the strongest emotion when person is unable to express his real feeling. So I would love to use amber color for the hungry people, and the person who I believe are in the leave me alone category. I don't want to paint any color for them, so I would love to paint them with a white color. And apologies for the third category, but I would love to fall back on my default preference, which is the royal blue color for that category. And I believe because these colors will help me in differentiating the mood of the person and the person with whom I need to interact. Because if I go if I go for interaction with a random person and I know how he's going to react, then I can accordingly change the tone of my language and how I need to interact with the person. So that's it. I think that's my preferences. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Toastmasters Esprit. That was an interesting choice of colors that definitely led our creative brains to be in a different zone altogether. Thank you for sharing. Who do we have next? Toastmaster.
We have a few first timers as well. Nida,
Bhavesh.
Renu, Bhavesh, Renu, Kritika Alwani, who just joined us.
All right. So whoever the names are being called, please do volunteer, else I'll have to pick up a name because anyhow you'll be called over to the stage.
Please raise
Bhavesh
your
has
hand.
raised his hand.
Keep your video on. Yep.
Toastmaster Bhavesh. All right. So Toastmaster Bhavesh, you've opened a shared sheet and 5 different people are typing in different cells at once. Do you see it as a beautiful symphony of productivity or a personal version of nightmare? So there you have a Google sheet open. There are 5 people typing differently on different cells. Is that your personal version of yay, we are being so productive? Or oh my god, this is a nightmare? Toastmaster Bhavesh.
Thank you so much, Tptm, for that topic. How many of you all watch cricket or are interested in watching cricket or you play cricket? Okay, I can see a couple of hands being raised. Thank you so much, Rupinder, Weber, and Kamal. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have always thought of myself as somebody who would be a great Virat Kohli, but not a great MS Dhoni. Is this statement sitting well with anybody here? I've always thought of myself as somebody who would be a great individual contributor rather than a team player. Couple of years ago, while I was actually pursuing my MBA in human resource management, we used to get a lot of assignments, projects where we used to actually collaborate on Excel sheets, Google Sheets, maybe Word documents, shared workspaces. And during those days as well, I used to actually ask this question to myself that why am I not able to collaborate with people? While they are also working, why am I not able to use my mental faculties where other people are also giving their opinions? Why do I need my own quiet space where I can just be myself and then come up with ideas and thoughts and opinions? So wherever I actually used to find myself in an opportunity or in a space where lots of people are working. So let's say I think 5 different people are working in 5 different cells in the same worksheet, I would panic because that's just who I am. And I recognize that strength of myself, that I can be a great individual contributor. But for me to collaborate with people, I need my own quiet time. I need my own quiet space. Not that I won't respect the opinions or I won't regard what other people have to say. But for me to hone my strength, for me to hone my game, I think the question which Tptm had asked me, I would rather see this image or this situation as not a friendly situation, but I think as a curse to me. But yeah, I'm working on it and hopefully we'll be able to collaborate better. Back to the Tptm.
Fair enough, Toastmaster Bhavesh. Thank you for candidly sharing your thoughts around collaboration in Google Sheets, which can go either ways depending on how you prefer collaborating. But you covered an entire spectrum, so thank you. All right, soon to be Toastmaster Nida, do you want to go next? Toastmaster Vaibhav.
Sarah is back.
All right, Sarah, are you ready for your table topic?
Yes.
All right, so Toastmaster Sarah, everyone puts proficient in Google Sheets on their resume. What is the one specific skill that separates the posers from the pros? So everyone puts proficient in Google Sheets on their resume, but what differentiates the posers from the pros? Toastmaster Sarah.
I used Google Sheets to arrange my speech topics and analyze how I'm doing in my speeches. And that is something that I found that a lot of people don't do. Even that was actually my first experience in using Google Sheets. I have never used Google Sheets before. The only app from Google ecosystem I have ever used was Google Docs. But I found that what separated a proficient user of Google Sheets from someone who just used Google Sheets to just flaunt off to their employer that, oh guys, look, I manage sheets, I do analysis, I do SPSS, I'm a programmer, something along those lines, is that they are very much focused on what they want to achieve, and they do not just put in any single value or cell that make it look cool. Unless that cell is actually useful, they will not actually use it. And that is something that I have also done. At first I thought I should implement every single aspect of a speech that can be relevant in the Google Sheet. But over time, I realized I don't have to put the number of hours if I use the word of the day or what my specialty was in the theme of the speech. I don't have to actually mention it in the sheet. So I thought, let's just optimize it and only put the things that are actually necessary and what is actually relevant to me and my mentor. So I just put topic, time, and the video. And that's all. That's what separates a proficient user from a poser. They proficient users focus on things that actually matters, and posers focus on what actually looks good on a resume, but they do not really focus on optimization. Topic master.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sarah. Definitely, I think differentiating being a pro from posers is a difficult job to do, and you narrated the entire thought behind how potentially we could do that or not to do that. Quite interesting. Thanks a lot. Next, we'll take Toastmaster Kamal, as he's informed that he is to leave. So he's requested if he could be prioritized next. All right. So Toastmaster Kamal, if you could write an app script, so basically automate one mundane task in your physical, non-digital life, like laundry or grocery shopping, what would it do? So if you could write a script to automate one mundane task in your physical life, in your offline life, like laundry or grocery shopping, what would it do? Toastmaster Kamal.
Okay. If I have to automate something, a mundane task, with the help of Google Sheet, it would be keeping a track of my expenses, because I am kind of old school. I still maintain the expenses that I do on a, in a diary or in a paper format. I wish if I would have been more adept and more adroit on using Google Sheets, I would have loved to automate this entire spectrum of things by running a macro or automating this entire exercise, because it could have given me more insights. I prefer it doing the traditional or the old school ways, because I am very fond of writing on paper, because it exposes me and it enriches me mentally. I feel very good when I write on paper vis-a-vis when I write on Google Sheets or the screen. While I would not like to ideally automate this activity, but if there is something that could have been automated, is this activity of me tracking my expenses through the Google Sheets, because with the help of whatever comes on Google Sheet, probably I could have seen more visualizations in terms of charts, or in terms of max, min, average, probably even standard deviation of my expenses or the variance, and probably see how it pans out in the form of a linear equation or or a model. On which factors is my dependent variable, my expenses running, and what is the slope. So I believe this is one activity I would have automated if given a chance.
Interesting. Definitely, Kamal. Thank you for covering the physical to the online aspect, and good to have you here. And thank you for joining. Next, we owe it to the club, to our champion, to someone who's representing Turning Point Toastmaster at the district level, to give a chance to for him to practice, because without him, our club may not be as anchored as it is. So, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder, are you ready for your table topic?
I'm ready, provided you give me topics that will be asked in a contest and not test my knowledge of calculus and linked lists and God knows what else.
You never know how contests fare. We've seen a lot of surprises in contests regarding topics. So maybe not so surprising topic or surprising topic for you. So distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder, how do you feel when someone sends you a view only link to a sheet that you know you need to edit? Is it a simple mistake or subtle power move? How do you feel when someone sends you a view only link to a sheet you need to edit? Is it simple mistake or subtle power move? Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder.
Back in Canada, I created a set of Google Sheets that ran an entire temp staffing agency's operations. So, just to give you an idea, we were sending close to 200 people to work every day. Those sheets would track when they left for work, when they arrived, how many hours they worked, and from the hours they worked, they would calculate how much are they going to get paid and then generate their pay slips. All this done inside Google Sheets. Until one fine day, one smart Alec decided that he could do better, and he made a copy of my sheet, messed it up very badly, thought that it would affect my sheet even though it would not, and then sent me a link to edit that sheet. And he's asking me a question. Can you tell me what is wrong with it? Because I have asked AI and AI does not seem to have any answers. I looked at the sheet. It was a view only sheet. But you know what I did? I saved a copy. And then I was able to figure out where it was wrong. And then I wrote a very terse email to him saying, number one, don't fix what is not broken, first of all. Second, this is the mistake you made. Third, whatever you are doing, don't use Google Sheets, because I love Google Sheets and you'll make me hate them. So when somebody does send me a view only link to Google Sheets, I simply save a copy which I can personally edit. Mr. Topics Master.
Thanks a lot, Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder, for sharing your experience of using Google Sheets, receiving a view only sheet, and what are the range of things that you may or may not do in terms of managing that sheet. Timer just checking in. How much time do we have? How many topics can we take?
We can fit in two more topics.
Two more topics. All right. So soon to be Toastmaster Priya, soon to be Toastmaster Asha, Renu. You want to take up a topic? We have a lot of hands raised. So if not, I'll go with you, Toastmaster Anu, because your has been raised for a while. All right.
We also have Samit.
Yes, and we'll have Samit after this. An interesting situation for you, Toastmaster Anu. If all the world servers went down and we had to go back to physical ledger, books, and pencils, how would you and all of us fare if the world server had to shut down? and there was no Microsoft Excel, there was no Google Sheets, and we had to go back to physical ledger, books, and pencils. How would you and I fare, Toastmaster Anu?
What I feel, this is very imaginary situation, because in today's world we are talking about multi-AG, recovery, resiliency, and backups and all. So what I feel, this is a hypothetical situation and tough to happen like this, because every design, every architect that we build, we keep in our mind what is our resiliency pattern and what are our backup places. We are putting our servers in multiple AGs, one in US East, another in West, or some other places, spread in such a way that we don't face such situation. So, but still, in worst case scenario, if we go with this hypothetical situation, I feel there will be a lot of chaos. There we will be coming back on the pens and paper and lot of things that we currently do, which is automated within this AI world or automated with Excels. We all is going to be in that chaos, and we all is going to be the frustrated person, or our productivity will slow down. These are going to be like big blunder, or because these systems are become part and parcel of our life, and it's really tough to live with it. So hope and I wish this is going to be hypothetical situation. Otherwise, all our architects, all our design, all our resiliency system, all our data recovery is failure. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Anu. Definitely, it's a hypothetical situation, but I hope, yes, we do not lose our online presence. It's so integral to our lives. Just in case it happens, we'll always remember your thoughts. All right, last but not the least, Toastmaster Sameep, you had your
Hello.
hand raised.
Yeah, thank you.
All
I
right,
hope you can hear me. Yeah.
yeah, I can. Last but not the least, the flavor of the times. And how can we miss that? Which is artificial intelligence. So, Toastmaster Sameep, with AI now writing formulas for us, will we just get lazy to write formulas, or will we become formula architects? With AI writing formulas for us now, will we become lazy and just use AI to write formulas, or will we become formula architects? Toastmaster Sameep.
Toastmasters, I've been using Excel, and I at one time I started to love it because the range of possibilities it was opening up for me. But as I started focusing more on the business and outcomes, so I thought that to shift my attention from formula thinking to what I want strategically done from that sheet, it was a taking a toll on the attention, because I had to switch my attention of what formula should I use and versus how it should output, it should what story should it tell. So I think with this age of AI, this is very good, especially for storytellers and for people who are want a human focus, like human consumption it is for, we should remember, and not get fascinated by formulas. So I love Excel, a lot of formulas, and maybe you might have to compromise on a few formulas, but I think with AI, you can quickly focus on that and iterate also. Like give yourself feedback. If you tell it, order it, this is you want done, and now it doesn't look, it doesn't tell a story or doesn't convey the message properly, you can immediately refine it. So I think we have a powerful tools in our hands. And last 30 seconds, I just want to share something that I've been using AI for. One is to summarize videos on YouTube and put it all together, and now to even uh, notebook LLM to even write a book for me. So based on a lot of videos, different learnings, my own thoughts, and I give it an outline that this is the outline of a story or a book, and this is the research material, and it puts it together very well. I have to use a combination of tool. We can talk about it later, like Copilot, not just Google Notebook, but also Gemini plus this Cowork. But it is fascinating. I love it, and it takes away all the tediousness for me and puts it like the whole book comes live in front of me. Over to you, Toast Table Topic Master.
Thanks a lot, Osmasami, for painting that picture of the future or current where AI has started playing an integral role in changing our job for the future. And just since you mentioned YouTube, a fun fact, every YouTube video now has a Gemini button below it, which you can use to summarize the video, talk to the video, seek explanation. Um, but definitely for now, Google Sheets rules the roost. And thank you for attempting different challenges uh, varying around Google Sheets. And talking about AI, handing over the stage back to someone who loves AI, is excited about the future of AI or not, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder.
Thank you, AI Yoda. That's what I call Anshuman. Every time I have a question about AI, I reach out to him. Speaking of AI, I know many of you love GPT, Claude, or Perplexity. Respectfully noted. But Gemini inside Google Workspace can actually help improve Sheets directly. As I mentioned in my table topics, when I was in Canada, I ran operations for a temp staffing agency using Google Sheets. One day they brought in a developer to automate the system, so I was asked to prepare documentation. I did what any efficient modern professional would do. I asked Gemini, and just like that, I got a clean markdown file, an organized documentation, and I also got some helpful suggestions. Speaking of suggestions, this is now time for the section where people give us suggestions. Let's welcome the evaluation team headed by a general evaluator, Toastmaster Sajal. Toastmaster Sajal, let's once again do a final audio video check.
Hi, am I audible?
You're audible, you're visible, weapons free, clear to engage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupinder. Everyone, can we just unmute ourselves for a second and have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Rupinder, and our table topic master, Toastmaster Anshuman. Thank you, everyone. Now you can all mute yourselves. I welcome you all to the general evaluation section. 3 things before we move further. First, in Toastmasters, we follow a CRCS approach, which is also known as commendation, recommendation, commendation, summary approach. It's also known as the sandwich theorem, in which basically the negatives are fitted in between the positives to leave the speaker on an inspiring note. A brief summary is always good to give to the speaker so that the speaker instantly knows where he or she went wrong and how they can improve upon it. Second thing, general evaluation is usually divided in 3 segments. The first segment is in which the speech evaluators come and deliver their evaluations based on the objectives given by Toastmasters International. The second segment is in which the auxiliary role players come and present their reports. And the third is the overall evaluation of the entire meeting. And last but not the least, the word of the day for today's meeting is cogent, which means strongly or clearly expressed. And the idiom of the day is ahead of curve, which means being more advanced or being more innovative. So I would request all of you to use word of the day and idiom of the day as much as possible in today's meeting. And without further ado, let's begin the first segment of this section for the speech evaluators. So I would like to welcome our first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Kavita, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Anand's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Kavita.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, our speaker, Toastmaster Anand, has beautifully brought the speech, which was really cogent. He has clearly explained the objective. He goes on that. I would like to provide my feedback in Mars. M means message. A, what was amazing in his speech. R, my recommendations. And finally, yes, the summary of commendations and recommendations. First message. He was beautifully brought up the message saying that as a human being, we have to be so supportive for the non-human creatures like birds. And especially in the summer, this topic is so relatable and it was heart touching. What was amazing to me in the speaker's speech is the first, uh, he started with a question. It was a really catchy hook because in 10 seconds, if you are able to connect with the audience will be really hooked till end of the speech. If he did that fabulously by asking questions, how many of you felt so helpless whenever we need something? Second, he had a sprinkle of humors in his speech. For example, he just asked in one instance, if you have the pot for feeding the thirst of the bird, raise two hands. He It was really humor and connected with audience, even if they are living in the apartment, not even the individual house. The third section of the speech, he started with the context saying that how the birds are helpless and how he motivated his team by creating a project with the people, those who are in school. And finally, he brought the outcome as well, produce hundreds of fundas. So with this, the speaker has really amazed with his speech. These are the amazing things I would like to highlight. The third thing, recommendations. R means recommendations. I have two strong recommendations. One, I would want the speaker to use dynamic body language. That means there are a lot of things in dynamic body language, especially the vocal variety. If he could have included, for example, he would have brought some vocal varieties, having a conversation with a student or having a bird sound, uh, something like that. Instead of having a specific bird, even all the birds in this nature are looking for water in the summer. Second, some property usage. For example, he made a lot of pots to have a water. So if he could have started or included some property with the pot having a water, that will be even more relating and picturization for the audience to understand the message. Finally, to summarize, if the speaker could have, the speaker was excelled with catchy opening, started with the question. Second, the project structure was so good. Third, um, good hand gestures and with a sprinkle of humor. To have the recommendations, if appropriate property usage, especially pot and dynamic body language, especially with the vocal variety, will elevate his speech really more. I wish the speaker all the very best for his next speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kavita. Next, I would like to invite our second evaluator, Toastmaster Vaibhav, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Kutub's speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sajal. So I will be presenting my evaluation in the CSCR format as suggested by Toastmaster Sajal. So firstly, let's begin with the commendation part. So I would like to commend the speaker's efforts to stand and speak even while on Zoom. That small effort creates a huge difference. So really well done on that. You started with a question which engaged the audience well. We were into your speech. Now coming on to your delivery, your vocal variety and hand gestures were excellent. You moved with purpose, and your gestures were perfectly in sync with your words and ideas. So you did really good on that part. Now, talking about your confidence was really good from the start. Your voice was clear, and your pace was mostly well controlled. The body language supported your message beautifully. You held the attention and communicated your ideas with clarity and conviction. Now, my recommendations would be, so the overall message as well was excellent. And I'll share the key takeaway from the speech at the end, but a few recommendations. You use some very powerful lines and messages. Like you mentioned, the student from the college, he needed guidance, not information. Information is everywhere, impact is rare. So that was really powerful. So what you could have done better in that was adding slight pauses after such powerful messages to let the key idea or the message sink in. Uh, and uh, this was one. And apart from this, yes, and to challenge yourself further, consider ending with one single question, a single line that audience can carry home. that repeats in their head and that echoes, that creates a better impact. So those are my two recommendations. The overall takeaway was, since this was the aim was to develop a vision, you did that beautifully, and you clearly crafted a vision for yourself and the audience, which was to not just be a better speaker, but to serve better. So this is what I am taking away from your speech. Oh, let's give it up for Kutub.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vaibhav. Let's begin with the second segment of this evaluation section. I would now like to invite our first auxiliary role player, our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Anuradha.
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll start with the word of the day and idiom of the day usage. So Toastmaster Rupender has used word of the day and idiom of the day both. Kavita has used word of the day. Kutub has used word of the day. And still I felt today usage of the word of the day and idiom of the day was little less as compared to last meeting. So we could improve on that part. Now I would like to go ahead with some good uses of the grammar, like from spectrum of thing, no less scoting, voiceless creature, strained in unfamiliar territory, safe haven, testify, creative chaos, power of collaboration, heart touching, amazing, catchy hook. Information is everywhere, but impression is rare. Candid- Candidately sharing, held attention, flaunt, etc. and elevated. Now going to not so good uses, I didn't find any, so please excuse for that. And that's it from my side. Over to you, Sajid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anuradha, for that cogent report. I would now like to invite our R counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Kanav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sajid. Coming to my report, most of the people did not use as many filler words, and let me go towards that. Most of the people were less than 5, which are coming in the green zone. Rupender's distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder used one so when he was the sergeant at arms, and as the presiding officer, Toastmaster Anant used one so. Then, as the Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder used one and one so. Coming to our timer of the day, Toastmaster Vivek, there was no filler words as such, but there could be a use of pause as I felt that he rushed through it a little faster. So, creating a pause can create more impact. Our grammarian Toastmaster Kamal used one so and one a. That was it. And then Toastmaster Sajal in her first coming, she used one a. And then coming to our evaluator, Toastmaster Kavita used one a. And in the speech, Toastmaster Anant, distinguished Toastmaster Anant used one a. In the speech of Toastmaster Weber, he used one so and one a, and there was one pause. And just to add, that speech title was a messenger, so that was also used. And yeah, that is not counted. Yeah. So in our table topic segment, Anshuman, Toastmaster Anshuman, our table topic master, used two R's. There was one pause, and after using then pause. So that can be improved. Jasprit, Toastmaster Jasprit used 2 hours. Bhavesh was going on flawless. at the conclusion time, he used to ask, Toastmaster Sarah, you repeated a word relevant and one R was there. Toastmaster Kamal in the table topic section use one R and a repeat of or. Toastmaster Rupinder, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder repeated don't. And then Toastmaster Anu, guest Anu used one so. Then coming to Toastmaster Sajal, she used 3 R's. And then our evaluation segment, these all people were in the green zone. Then in the evaluation segment, there were more filler words. So the common filler word was A. Kavita used more than 8 times, so it was A. And Toastmaster Weber took more than 10 times, which was also A. So we can work upon it by using less A, by taking note of what we are supposed to say, and majority of the time R came when we were thinking about the thing. So trying to speak and think at the same time, then that's the R that came in major cases. Otherwise, it was majorly flawless. 1 or 2 R's were used. That's it from my report. Back to our general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kanav. Next, I would like to invite our timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Vivek.
Thank you, Sajal. I'm ready with my report. First is speaker is Anant. He was speak for 8 minutes, 22 seconds and 29 milliseconds. Second speaker is Kutub. He was speak for 6 minutes, 23 seconds and 32 milliseconds. And next come to table topic speaker. And first one is Jasprit. He was speak for 1 minute, 27 seconds and 27 milliseconds also. Bhavesh, second is Bhavesh, 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Third one is Sarah. Sarah was speak for 2 minutes, 15 seconds, 35 milliseconds. Fourth is Kamal. Kamal speak for 1 minute, 50 seconds and 26 milliseconds. Next is Rupinder. Rupinder speak for 2 minutes, 3 seconds and 16 milliseconds. Next one is Anu. Anu speak for 1 minute, 35 seconds and 34 milliseconds. And the next one last is Sameep. Sameep speak for 2 minutes, 6 seconds and 34 milliseconds. Next was evaluators. First one is Kavita. She was speak for 3 minutes, 23 seconds and 31 milliseconds. And next is Vaibhav. Vaibhav speak for 2 minutes, 38 seconds and 10 milliseconds. And that's it. And guess what, Supender? I will make this report in Google Sheet also.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vivek. I forgot to have the polls for the evaluators and the auxiliary role players, if we can have it right now.
I'll close it in next 10 seconds, so you can proceed.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. So let me begin with the overall evaluation of the meeting. Our meeting today began at exactly 7, which is a quality that I've seen in Turning Point Toastmasters meetings. Thanks to Toastmaster Rupinder, I would really like to commend him as he was the Toastmaster of the day today. And he took the role of Sergeant at Arms on the spot, which is commendable because when I become Toastmaster of the day, I'm so nervous for my role that I usually keep my video switched off till that role and just open it when the role comes. And he did it so perfectly. He recited the mission statement. He told about the values of Toastmasters thanks to the script of Toastmaster Anand. I believe that the role of Sergeant at Arms can decide the flow of the meeting that we have in any Toastmasters meeting, because if the Sergeant at Arms starts on a very energetic note, the entire meeting runs on that note. And today the meeting started with a round of applause. So thank you, Toastmaster Rupinder, for taking that role. Coming to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Anant, The first thing that I absolutely loved when about his introduction was that he motivated the executive committee behind the meeting. And there are a lot of efforts that goes behind the meeting. Those people might not even be present in the meeting, or they might not have spoken in today's meeting, but they have made a lot of effort in bringing the meeting together. So to motivate them or commend them is one of the best things a presiding officer can do in his overall introduction. And it takes a lot of effort. And today, Toastmaster Anand checked all the boxes as a presiding officer. He made made everyone feel welcome. He took everyone's introduction. He even left us with a motivational quote that let us focus on listening as much as we do on speaking in today's meeting. Then coming to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rupinder. I believe that he has that quality of grabbing people's attention. Whenever he is on stage, everybody just like pauses their videos or anything and they just start listening to the speaker. And a topic like Google Sheets, a topic which you think might not be that innovative or might not be that interesting, a person like Toastmaster Rupinder can make that topic interesting, an underrated topic. You can actually fall in love with Google Sheets after this meeting, even if you haven't tried it once. The three things that he told about the structure of the meeting, he related those to three themes of three um, things of the meeting, where he said collaboration, version history, and Gemini. So all those three things are something that I am taking away from this meeting. He made sure that he had a very cogent structure for today's meeting. He had speakers' topics in hand. He was ahead of curve with the theme of the meeting. And I think any person who takes up this role in futures meeting can see today's Toastmaster of the day and how smoothly the meeting progressed. He kind of connected the entire meeting with the theme, and with in that comes our table topic master as well, Toastmaster Anshuman, who helped keep the meeting on track with the theme of the meeting by providing the topics which were exactly related to the theme. And the first topic that he provided, it really caught my eye that the topic was that colors related to conditional formatting to moods of people. So it was really exciting table topic session. And I believe the quality that any table topic master has is how welcoming or how comfortable he can make anybody on the stage. And today, Toastmaster Anshuman clearly first asked the guest or the speaker coming that, are you comfortable with Google Sheets or Excel? Or are you comfortable with this topic? And the topics that he provided were equally amazing. So I would really like to commend Table Topic Master on that. A small suggestion I have for him is to just introduce word of the day as well before the start of the section, so that the speakers would remember to use the word of the day and idiom of the day to use in today's meeting. Then coming to our speech evaluators, both the speech evaluators, Toastmaster Kavita, Toastmaster Vaibhav, did an incredible job today. They both had a clear structure of recommendations, and then a proper summary to the approach. I really liked how Toastmaster Kavita had an acronym Mars and how she was giving commendations on that note. It's very easy to remember commendations when it's when it's given by an acronym. You would be remembering that for a very long time. One one small commendation that she could add in her evaluation would be that the speaker, Toastmaster Anand's background matched with the safe haven, like it matched with the jungle when he was speaking. So that was something that I was constantly looking at, and I was constantly hooked in my mind that jungle scene was going on while I was listening to his speech. So that is something we can always try for in an online meeting, because we don't get that chance in an offline meeting. So those are the perks of having an online meeting. Then coming to speaker two, Toastmaster Weber had a very informative evaluation. He had really good observations in his evaluation of commendations as well as recommendations. For the future evaluators, I just have two very small suggestions. One would be to avoid the use of the word you while speaking, because it targets the speaker, and the speech evaluation is actually a speech for the audience. So saying the target speaker or even the speaker's name while giving commendations is always a better way to present the evaluation. Another thing is that we can avoid the words like strong recommendations or 3 recommendations, because I know that there are recommendations, but it's just we can always have innovative ways of speaking rather than the word a recommendation. For example, if I was the speaker, I could have done this, or the speaker could have done this, or this could have made the speech more encouraging or more uplifting. Because the word recommendation sometimes feels a bit forced or feels a bit like critical in nature. This is a very general suggestion for our future evaluations as well. Coming to our auxiliary role players, we have 3 very good auxiliary role players today. Our timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Vivek, was very observant in his role. Timer is one of the most difficult jobs we have in an online meeting, especially because to keep a track of timings. And today, I think we're exactly on time. It's 8:46, and we will be finishing it on time. So kudos to Toastmaster Vivek for handling that job so well. Then coming to our counter, Toastmaster Kanaf was very observant in his report as well as his introduction. A very small suggestion I have for him is in introduction, he can cite the green, yellow, and red zones so we know that which zone to target in our reports. But his report was really detailed and very observant. So thank you, Toastmaster Kanaf, on that. And to our grammarian, Toastmaster Anuradha and Toastmaster Kamal. Both, like the report and the introduction as well, both were very cogent. And I couldn't find a better word for that because I could still feel that even the report and even the introduction was very detailed. When Toastmaster Kamal said that Toastmaster Anuradha will be coming in the report section, it was very smooth as well. Normally, these transitions take up a lot of time and we usually confuse names between them, but these two were really very clear with their roles. So very informative evaluation. A small suggestion I have for the grammarian is to take the names of people who have done that positive thing, because it always motivates people when they have done a positive phrase or something. But that is something that we can all look forward to. Overall, it was an amazing meeting. And I think I should have been better prepared, but thank you to everyone, all the role players, and to all the speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster Rupinder.
Audible? Audible?
Yes.
Okay. Many years ago, I created a Google Apps script that took 2 inputs: a person's name, the Toastmasters award, and it automatically generated a certificate PDF, and then it emailed it to the recipient. No manual formatting, no repetitive work, no drama. I challenge anyone to do that in Excel without extra cost or plugins or subscriptions or emotional damage. So yes, today's theme is why I love Google Sheets. Because it helps people collaborate, recover mistakes, and automate smartly. And much like Toastmasters, it helps turn confusion into confidence. It was an honor being your Toastmaster of the day today. And with that, I hand over the control of the meeting to our presiding officer and tech master and speaker number 1, who probably at one time had a crush on the timer, who dumped him unceremoniously, and he decided to go over time in every speech he did. Let's hope he stays within time this time. Back to you, Anant Katyai.
Thank you, Rupinder. And I think I would invite all the audience members to jointly applaud for all the role players who have perfected their roles today nearly. Let's have a thorough round of applause for them, because the testimony is that we are on time. We have included as many people as possible to get an opportunity to speak. At the same time, so many people are staying towards the very end, because we always are having a sense of belonging over here. It's not like my part is done, bye-bye, unless unavoidable. So thank you so much for that spirit. And in that spirit, let us poll for one last category, that is the best role players among the TMOD, TTM, and GE. And yes, in case I did not clarify this earlier, you could have, and you can still vote for your own self. While that is going on, this is now time for us to listen to you, the audience members. How was your experience? And I would invite first those people who couldn't get much or longer chance to speak. We had a guest who joined us in between, Kritika Alwani. Kritika, am I pronouncing your name right? Kritika, are you there?
For those of you who don't know, Kritika is from the National Australian Bank NAB Toastmasters, and she's right now connecting to audio. She's finding her voice.
No
Kritika,
worries.
have
Hi,
you
am
found
I
your
audible
voice?
now?
Yes, Kritika, we
Yes.
can hear you now. Just inquiring whether you were able to hear us and see us, and how was your experience?
It was very nice. So, Rupinder invited me just to see this meeting and observe everything. I'm still learning. And the way speakers has given their speeches, I mean, salute to them. I was listening all of these speeches, but I have to say that you guys have already set the bar, and definitely I'm taking some good insights for my club, and we'll definitely um, you guys are gonna help us. So it was very nice, and I will see if in future as well I can join. Rupinder, let me know if is there any other opportunity through which I can join this club. I mean, in meetings.
I have one excellent avenue for you to actually manage that, and that is by getting added to our guest group. If you are not there already, are you added in our guest group?
No, I guess.
No, I'll be sharing the link to join our guest group. And those who are Toastmasters, you can join our meeting preparation group as well. The purpose is to be aware without feeling intruded about the club's meetings in general. But generally, we meet for 7 to 9 p.m. every Thursday. And yes, all our meetings are live streamed. So you can watch this moment or whenever you spoke, going back on our YouTube link. And we do share the recording links every week afterwards in the groups itself. So that's one reason or one incentive for us, all of us to
It's a
um,
very good. It's
come to
literally a
Turning
very
Point
good
Toastmasters.
opportunity to learn.
Yes. In fact, this is especially announced for those who are preparing for evaluation or ISC or table topics contest. This is how we can help you prepare by capturing it, and you can share it with the timestamp with anyone whom you like. Going further now to Asha Kumari. You couldn't get a chance to speak, but how was your experience otherwise?
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I'm audible.
evening. Yes, you are.
So I joined in between, and it was like I was watching a movie in the middle, and I don't know any characters. And what was happening, I saw two grammarians, and I was surprised.
Just tell
So
us a little bit first about your own self, because I met you at Jaipur, but people may not know you.
yeah, so I'm a Toastmasters at Bodhi Kota Toastmasters Club, which is a club in Kota, Rajasthan, and I'm currently serving as a VPM there. I joined Toastmasters in October 2024, and it has been a wild journey of learning and new experiences. And I met Toastmaster Anant in last division conference in December 2025, and this time I also met him again in this last Sunday in a
Bad luck
division.
to you. But thank you
So
so
I,
much for joining us, even if in between. Folks, please take a note, Rupinder, Anshuman. Bodhi Toastmasters Kota is a club which is a hybrid/online club. And since post June, we are going to be one district, one unified district 224, the Northern India, UP, Noida, Rajasthan, Gujarat. So we all anyway will be part of one incoming district. So why not have a joint meeting these coming weeks? Maybe one of them, right? So do take a note. I will put the teams together. Thank you so much, Asha, for coming here and giving that reminder of the conversation. Webo, how was your experience? Yes, Rupinder.
I seem to recall we did have somebody from Bodhi Kota attend Turning Points meeting in person. This was way back in 2019 or 20.
That's great.
2019, I think. I've forgotten her name, but she was there and she did attend the meeting. I've forgotten her name.
Let's revive those links. I will move now to Vaibhav from NAP Toastmasters, who played an active role and kept the video throughout on. Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Your experience, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. So actually, I've had the opportunity to meet you before this as well. We met at an online meeting with Fidelity. I already know you from there. And I knew some faces like distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder, Bhavesh as well, and Priyanka as well. So I've seen a few faces, but it was really great to see some new faces. And what really inspired me was the level of detailing and with which every role player took, their roles and delivered their reports, especially the general evaluator. So that was a very good takeaway for me. Um, and to the speakers as well, wonderful speeches, so much to learn from you. And the table topics master as well, Anshuman, you did a great job to make everyone comfortable. So overall, it was a wonderful meeting, and I'm looking forward to join you guys more frequently. And
Most
definitely, I'll be
welcome. Most
yes,
welcome.
I will
By
be
the way,
adding.
for a club
Yes.
like yours, which is a corporate club which meets largely physically, uh, why don't you share our club meetings links, or maybe simply say that do watch us on YouTube with the club name Turning Point Toastmasters. Last 3-4 meetings, I guess, they have been nearly as per the protocol while being engaging. So you can share this with people who are attempting a role for the first time, and they can take a reference that may not be perfect, but they can take a good enough reference that this is how they have to play their role, introduce the role or play the reports or do the evaluations or take care of these things, these many things in general evaluation. We are not having perfect meetings every week, but we are having meetings which are high on collaboration and output. So you can share these links, and anyone who you come along, especially from the corporate or physical meetings, they can leverage what we have here today. That reminds me that Rupinder is going to visit Fidelity very soon as well, Jaspreet's club. And Rupinder, all the best for that. And
I'm
boys,
also
please.
visiting NAB at some point.
NAB. Yes, most
So,
probably
boys and
next week.
girls, please make the most out of this opportunity. Pick this
Yes,
guy's
next week.
brain, not physically, but literally, you know, not literally, but metaphorically. This guy has tons of experience, not in terms of length or number of years, but the kind of intensity with which he attends Toastmasters meeting, whether in India or abroad, physically as well as globally online. So this guy is a treasure trove. Now I invite Renu Kumari, first time after a long time, did not raise hand in table topic. But Renu, if you can switch on the video and share briefly, how's your experience?
My experience is so good, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And you are
Would you
my
want to come
teacher.
again?
You're my teacher. You're my mentor. From you, I'm here. I know that this is the platform where I improve my communication. I improve my skills. And thank you to you. Thanks a lot.
Do keep coming, and next time raise your hand and start speaking as well. I understand first time in a long time, so maybe a bit of jitteriness, nervousness. Do make it a point that yes, I will come and speak. The way
Yes.
Vivek Khatri has done, he has been attending but did not speak for a couple of meetings, but then became a member, still did not speak, and then we spoke. And somehow he is attempting a role for the first time with near perfection. So let's have a round of applause for our first time role player, Vivek Khatri, as well. Quick feedback from those who are attending us for the first time. Kutub, followed by Kavita. Quick ones. If you can hear us, Kutub.
Yeah, thank you, Anant. I just absolutely loved the meeting. It was like the most important thing was the meeting had really good quality. There was information, there was entertainment, there was engagement. So I absolutely loved it. Kudos to you
And
guys.
Kutub, I will make it your day. You are not by default, but also by the popular choice of audience, the prepared speaker for today. The best
Anant,
prepared speaker,
thank
Kutub.
you. Thank you. And you were wonderful as well, Anant. So kudos to you as well.
Let's see how our evaluators fared by a whisker of a margin. The person who came here to prepare for evaluation contest, Kavita, you take the cake. Best speech evaluator. Next, we go for best auxiliary role player, and it goes to a veteran, Toastmaster Kanav, the R counter. Nice observations, Kanav. Let's hear about the best role player and salute. General evaluator, Sajal. Did not look like a role which was taken at the last minute, thoroughly prepared. Still had the audacity to say, what if I could have been more prepared? Girls, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
ये वो लोग हैं जो एक नंबर के पीछे रोते हैं 99 out of 100 वाले.
Yeah, that no wonder in the exams, results, and all, boys are chilled with 65%, girls are crying even after 95. But we learn from such intensity, keeps the competitiveness high. Talking about the competitiveness, someone who is competing for the district level table topic contest, how can he be far away from the laurels? Rupinder Singh, the best table topic speaker by a landslide. And that concludes the meeting today. Ladies and gentlemen, I humbly thank you and remind the conversation in the beginning. Did we just speak, or did we also listen and absorbed and evolved? By the mere fact of attending a Toastmasters meeting anywhere, even if not live, maybe by a YouTube recording. If you attend it, if you watch it, if you listen to it, if you still participate, fantastic. If not, even then, we evolve, we learn, we grow. That's how you see a champion like Rupinder. That's how you see a veteran like Anshuman. That's how you see a champion timer violator like me. We are all learning, but we are all progressing, one meeting, one speaking opportunity at a time. I take your leave now, wishing you the best of health, wishing you the best of the weekends
Before
ahead.
you go,
Yes, sir.
Bright Beginnings Toastmasters is having its 300th meeting this
Yes.
Saturday. So if you are in Gurgaon, do make sure to attend. I will be in Faridabad. I'll be kicking off my contest campaign by speaking at Faridabad Orators Toastmasters Club. So my best wishes to you, Anshuman, and to Bright Beginnings Club.
All the best, Anshuman.
I'll be sure to share this clipping and note with the team. So thanks a lot.
Yes, please. Bye, guys. Take care. See you next Thursday, not 7, 6:45 p.m.